Hi folks, this is Stacy here, and I'm doing this video because my mom said, "How did you do that?" I'm going to show how I take something as simple as a plain manila file folder and turn it into tags and just stuff for ephemera. These are just some that I did, and I have some very simple tools. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get this. In fact, really a ruler, a pair of scissors, and you got it made. And when I first started doing these, I did not have a lot of inking pads and stamping stuff and things like that. So basically, I got a small piece here. And you see how this here is pretty exaggerated as composed to that side. So decide which side you want to use. And you can do like this, you know. I'm going to get some raw material here. Move this out of the way. Voila. So I made myself a little template here because this is the shape I like. Hope you can see that. And here's one that I did using my little template. And first I cut off this side, and then I drew it on here, and you just take, again, a pair of scissors and a pencil. I did this in ink so you could see what I did. And voila. If it's in pencil and you leave a little bit on the edges, you can easily just erase that. So pretty easy to do. And that's what I did with this one. I need a darker piece of paper. Well, what have I got? Well, I guess I can show you a project that I'm starting to work on. And what happened was I'm starting to work on this project and I need some stuff. So here's one of the things that I could potentially use in this, but I thought as long as I was making things up, I might as well just go ahead. Here's some things that I put together. And this is just stuff that I'm going to have on the inside the book. But put that there. But like I can do something like this. And this book belongs to. Not too bad. And this paper here, it is tracing paper that I got at Walmart. And I went ahead and coffee dyed it, which it doesn't really take the dye very well. But I did bake it in the oven and it makes it all crinkly and old looking. And then again, I'm going to show you the treatment to get this particular coloration. Enough about that. So here's some things that I can age. These are just a variety of tags and what have you, but we're just going to take these out, push them off to one side. Here's one here that this is just some cardstock I already had that comes in a small, like 3x5 size. And it was stuff that normally gets thrown away out of some packaging, and I saved it, and here you have it. So I have these colors, and the ones I like to use are this Distressed Oxide by Ranger, and this is called Vintage Photo. So there you go. Vintage Photo. And it's kind of a golden color, which will give you, on this paper, it'll give you a look like that. Now, the other one I have is called, this one is called Ground Espresso. And it's kind of a darker color, and it will give you this color. So you can see that they're just a little bit different. This is more golden. This is kind of like soot colored, if you ask me. And on manila, like if you use a manila type, this color, you will get, let's see if I can get them out of my, you can get, with the Vintage Photo, it'll look like that. And with the Ground Espresso, it'll look like that. Pretty different colors. And these oxides, these Distressed Oxides, come in all different colors. I just happened to only have two because that's what I could afford. Now, before I could buy, and I didn't have these little stamper thingies that I use, but in the days before I had that, I used this. You say, how did you use this? Well, and this is called the Autumn Rainbow, and it goes from a yellow to a reddish orange to a kind of blue color to a green. Voila. It has 5 different colors, yellow to green. And I use more of this end, and let's see. And basically to get the effect, I just kind of would run it across like this. And just kind of beat it up a little bit. And it gives you a different effect, you know. And you can kind of, you know, do this. And it'll give you that effect. And I like that effect, and I use it. I still use it. So it'll color the edges, you know. So it's a different little trick, you know. You get a completely different effect. But I've gotten a very leather-like effect with this, and just playing with it. So just play around with what you got. You know, you don't have to buy a lot of stuff. This was, actually, it was a gift. So I don't even know how much it cost. I've had it for years. I've never re-inked it. It's been a good. But I always keep it sealed up too when I'm not using it. Now, when I go to do these, I like using these little gizmos. And these I got at Michael's, and they were 2 for like $8. And then they come with all these little felt thingies. And when the felt gets worn out, or if it starts leaving little pills behind, you just rip it off, put a new clean one. And they sell replacement ones. So anyway, I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use some Distress vintage photo on this one. And you just kind of make sure it gets and it's kind of moist to the touch, but it's not like an ink quite. It is an ink. You can use it like a stamper pad. I like having 2 of these because I label them which color I have them on. That way I don't have to change them out too often. And if you get a little bit more in one spot like that, it's okay. Because things don't always age evenly. They don't always age perfectly, you know. And say you look at that and you say, oh, that's okay, but it's not great. You can just take like this and add a little bit more maybe at the edges of something a little darker. See how that looks? Let's see if I can give you, see how that looks? It gives it a totally different look. And you can do this to your papers, you know, even like if you use coffee stained paper, you can accentuate some areas that you want it to look older or more stained. You know, I have this. This is actually, I printed it up off of the computer, and then I just attached it to some manila file folder to give it some weight. And I want this to look a little more elderly. I think, well, it looks new, quite frankly. So to give it a little bit of a look, I'm just going to kind of distress the edge a little bit. See? And I hope you can see how that's changed it. One half is treated, one half ain't. So that's just how I age my books, my journals, the ephemera. You can take a book page. Here's actually some vintage book pages, and they're a little aged around the edges. But maybe you like more. Maybe you want a little more. So, yeah, you just get in there. Let's go golden with this. And just give it a little hint. You know, it just gives it that little bit. And you can see how it just kind of, you know, improves it, I think. Well, I don't know if it improves it, but it at least gives it that look that you might be looking for. Anyway, some of the other things that you can use when you're making, like your tags and that, where'd I put it? I had my little thing here a minute ago. Can't take me anywhere. Oh gosh. Anyway. I had a little, well, you decide what you want to use for your edges. Let's see if I got one that needs edges. This one, I'm going to put an edge on this other side here, and I want it to look like these. So I'm just going to use this. And did I put it away? No, there it is. And a pencil. I prefer pencil because if I leave any residue there, I can erase it. And you just line up the edges. Draw it on. And then, you know, nothing super fancy. You don't need to have a special die. You know, I mean, it's nice if you can have these things, but not everybody can afford them. You know, it takes years to get a really good selection of craft items. It takes a lot of money. Go into a craft store, you'll see. This snipples into the trash. And maybe you want to do something where you've got an edge, you know, and you can paper punch, invest in one. And this one just happens to be a smaller one, you know. Let's see, what do I got here? Here's a piece of paper. I already punched a bunch of holes in it for a project. But I just go like this, and it's that size. It's the smaller size. There's all different kinds of paper punches, and then of course you can always get a big punch like one of these. This was this is about a 1-inch punch, might be even a 1.5, but it's pretty good size. Well, let's find out. She says, let's find out. What is this? This is 1 1/4 ish, 1 5/8. So not bad. It says it's 1.5 inch or 3.81 centimeters. So I guess I could have read it. That would have been easy. The other thing I like to have, and I think it's a good investment, even if you don't do a lot of paper crafting, because I used this a lot when my kids were growing up, and I have 2 of them. But let's see if I can. I have this Fiskars paper cutter. It's got the little thing that comes out, slides. This is what they call it, a triple slide something or other. Anyway, triple guide, really nice. There it is. This is my little, when I put save on here, these are some of my things that I use for, if I can get it up here. I keep, save. These I use to like draw around and stuff like that. So these are my little guides. So you don't need huge amounts of money to get started. This is probably $25. These ink pads, I think they were, I don't remember, to be honest, because I bought a bunch of stuff all at once. And like this right here is probably $10. Anyway, that's all I got to say about this right now. So I'm going to get cracking on one of my projects, and I'll talk to y'all later. I upload a new video every Friday, and I appreciate it if you like my videos and give me the thumbs up. And if you would be so good as to subscribe and click that notification bell, really appreciate it. Leave me a comment. I always like hearing from you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.